in New York, there's a lot of new construction, although that's not really impacting flips, at least from what I see. But there is new construction all over the place. And it's funny you mentioned that in Texas. I was just there a month ago. I was meeting with a partner who's also an agent. We were going through neighborhoods. You see these older houses, and then right next to it, you have this brand new $1.5 million building, which made no sense. And some of the lots you have two single family houses, literally one right behind another on the same lot. I'm like, this is wild. There's like no parking spaces, but yeah, that was crazy to see.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Preston Garcia, is a savvy investor agent in New York. Preston, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on here, Preston. I always like to start off at the top of this show by asking guests how they got into real estate.
Yeah, actually, it was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I was talking to one of my buddies about passive income, and he was just telling me about rental properties. And then ever since that conversation, I took it to YouTube, Google, all that stuff, and I just been researching a lot about it, and I thought it was super interesting, so I decided to get into it.
You got in first on the investor side?
Yes, although my first, actually, yes, yeah, I was. I was gonna say it, but I became an agent before I actually bought a property, but that's wrong. Yes, that is true.
Now, it's interesting because I'm sure you can relate to this. When you're going through the process of getting licensed as an agent, most of the people, well over half, at least that were in my cohort of people going through the school that I went to, were looking at it to go into the retail sales portion of it. They weren't thinking about it as investment for themselves, but you did have that segment of person who was there specifically so that they could, send out their own contracts. When you were initially getting licensed, was there a thought process, hey, I'm going to use this to work in the retail portion of it, find people their forever home, or was it, let me use this to further my investor journey?
Yeah, actually, it was a combination of both of those. I initially got in because I was like, why not be all in real estate, be an investor and agent, and then in the meantime, if I can help out others, find their dream home or other investment properties, which is what it turned into, then why not do it? Just be all in real estate.
And so walk me through that first couple of months, that first year, getting licensed. Were you looking heavily for yourself, off market deals? Were you making a bunch of offers? Were you connecting with investors? Or was it a mix of everything?
Yeah, the first month, well, I got licensed in a month. I did it on an app online, so luckily I was able to do it in a month. But once I got into it, everything seemed confusing. It was like nothing like what you do on the test, anything like that. I was definitely slow for the first 6 months to a year, because you're brand new, trying to learn everything. But after that, I started to pick up, and that's why eventually I went all in. I was able to do it full time.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I want to ask you, going, full time and going all in, when people talk about, hey, I'm making the jump into real estate, there's sometimes toes in the water, and then there's sometimes, hey, I'm just going to jump right in. Was it specifically the investor angle? Was it more of working with buyers and sellers that you were passionate about? Or did you just say, hey, like, I'm a real estate guy now. This is my new path, my new identity, my new profession. I'm just jumping all in. There's no other way to do this.
Yeah. So when I first got into it, I wanted to do both. People that, like I said a minute ago, try to find their dream home and try to do investment properties, help them. Um, Turns out for me, about 95% of mine have just become investors. But I'm open to everything.
Now, when we talk about working with investors, I've noticed this as someone who pretty much works predominantly with investors. It's a totally different ball game than working with, retail buyers, right? So working with investors, it helps to be an investor, to think like an investor as well. When you're reaching out and when you're connecting with other investors, is it through, groups that you're affiliated with? Are these through deal connections? Or at this point in the game, people know, hey, that's Preston, investor agent. You should reach out to him. He's my guy.
Yeah. Um, like you said, it definitely helps to know the investment side. But like, like I said, I think 95% of my clients have came from invest or from bigger pockets. So a lot of them are newer investors, a lot of them are experienced. But for them, it's literally all numbers. They don't really care about too many other things. It's not emotional or anything. Yes, location plays a little role in it, but for the most part, it's all numbers when it comes to investors.
Now, in your business, aside from being an agent, when you're looking at deals right now in this market, is there any segment or asset class that you're particularly heavy on, be it, single family or small multis or land deals?
Yeah, most of mine or most of my clients are small multifamilies. And by small, I mean 2 to 4. Anything 5 or more is considered commercial, at least as far as when it comes to loans. But most of them are in that 2 to 4 range. There's some that are higher, but I would say majority are 2 to 4.
Now, when we talk about the multifamily space, I've seen this trend happening right now. I think we're about to see maybe a bigger wave coming, but there's some distress, I would say, in that segment, that commercial segment, right? Whether it's 100 units or 50 units, if you have people coming together and pooling funds in the 2020 2019 time frame, and it seemed like it was just guaranteed these properties were going to appreciate. Now there's a lot of distress I've seen in the financials on the operator side. The physical structure might look great, but you're seeing some distress in multifamily. Are you seeing that as well when talking with your clients and in the market?
Yeah, and I feel like most of the time that I see if a property goes on the market quickly after they bought it, I kind of ask them what's going on with it. Either one, the tenants aren't paying, which is a problem over here in New York. It's the laws are tenant friendly, so that's an issue. But the other one, they say that the property managers aren't doing a great job and they're um, overcharging. So I see those two to be the biggest issues when it comes to the properties over here in New York. Um,
Right,
but
right.
Yeah.
When I think about these issues, it makes it kind of a perfect storm for owners and sellers, right? You're having tenant issues. You may have changes in the law. You may have rent stays like we experienced during COVID. But then you also have maintenance costs go up. Rehab costs going up and over budget. And so these things can come together. And then if there's any type of downward pressure on rents or the market in general, that just kind of compounds things. But on the flip side, as an investor, this makes it particularly appealing because you can start to make, creative offers, right? Are you seeing more creative offers out there as well? And are sellers maybe because they're, close to a danger point or breaking point, are they entertaining these offers?
Yeah.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Over here locally in Rochester, I see more creative offers. However, very few have got accepted that I've seen anyways. Although my personal duplex that I have over here, that was a creative offer. That was a few years ago. But in general, I'm seeing them more, not really seeing the sellers take it more. But when we talk about nationwide, I'm seeing a lot of creative offers be accepted.
I want to ask you, multifamily is comprised of multiple different segments. I mean, you could just keep breaking it down and breaking it down. I was speaking to someone yesterday who does workforce housing, rent by necessity was how she put it. But there's also folks who are in that small segment, or this may be their first deal. They may be looking at duplex, triplex, quadplex. There's so many ways to get into multifamily. And, personally, as someone who comes from the single family space, I think that small multifamily, duplex, triplex, quadplex is particularly appealing, especially to newer investors. Are you seeing newer investors maybe more bullish on that small multifamily than even per se single family, buy and hold or fix and flip?
Yeah. I would say most of them are actually in the small multifamily space. I barely see anyone looking for a single family, unless they're in a like quote unquote nicer neighborhood. They're looking to, either live in and rent out the other rooms, or if they're trying to rent to nurses, so they could get more rent. But most of them are still in that small multifamily game. I have a couple clients that are trying to own or occupy, so I think that's a smart move. So if
Yeah.
can get a multifamily like that and live in one unit and rent out the other ones.
House hack, right?
Yes.
Uh, you're based out of New York. Are you looking at deals in other markets as well, either for yourself or investors that you work with?
Yeah, literally all 50 states. I've been sending out offers actually to agents in all 50 states, for a creative finance deal. So, I think in the last 2.5 months, I sent over 65,000 emails. Obviously, there's a system
Holy
automation in
smokes.
place, but yeah, I sent out a lot.
Now, when we talk about, investing across state lines and making creative offers, how are you looking at these deals? Are you looking at, okay, I've done a deal here before, I've got boots on the ground over here, I feel comfortable in this market. What's your approach to making offers in areas where you might not have the connections that you have in New York?
Yeah. Um, well, first things first, I just put the offer in everywhere. It doesn't really matter as long as numbers make sense. And then if it gets under contract, then I'll start doing my due diligence a little bit more and start finding a team, a realtor, property manager, contractor, all that kind of stuff. But initially, I'll put an offer in wherever the numbers make sense money wise.
Now, is there a specific market that you're particularly bullish on, or that you've seen investors be particularly bullish on outside of New York?
Yeah, pretty heavy in Texas right now. Texas, Alabama, parts of Florida, but most of them are in Texas right now.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
This is news to my ears, Preston. I'm a Texas licensed agent. I've also seen a lot of traction in those other areas as well. Alabama, Florida, you mentioned. Texas specifically is interesting because I was in the wholesale space and working a lot with flippers. And then I started to see this trend. It was just slightly more challenging to be a single family flipper, especially because of how much new development was happening everywhere. And so if you're, doing a flip, but there's a new, DR Horton Meritage Lennar home that is $250,000 and maybe smaller, but it's brand new, it can be challenging to be in the flip space. In New York, are you experiencing a similar trend, different trend? Is there new construction in New York, or is everything already pretty much established and the flips are what is driving the market?
In New York, there's a lot of new construction, although that's not really impacting flips, at least from what I see. But there is new construction all over the place. And it's funny you mentioned that in Texas. I was just there a month ago. I was meeting with a partner who's also an agent. We were going through neighborhoods. You see these older houses, and then right next to it, you have this brand new $1.5 million building, which made no sense. And some of the lots you have two single family houses, literally one right behind another on the same lot. I'm like, this is wild. There's like no parking spaces, but yeah, that was crazy to see.
When I think about my experience living in the East Coast. I grew up in northern New Jersey, and I contrast that with my experience as a Texas licensed realtor. It's like it's almost two different countries because you're talking about where I grew up, northern New Jersey, feels like average price of a home is $800,000, and you can get a beautiful, very much upscale home. Uh, that would probably be, a $1 million home in those same areas for 375, $400,000 in Dallas Fort Worth metro, or in some of the other metros. And I look at Houston. Houston is super cost effective in a lot of ways, although they do have the flood insurance issues that they have to kind of keep at bay. When you're looking at these deals in Texas specifically, any specific market that you like to look at? Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, somewhere outside of those major four?
Actually, literally those four are the main ones that you just said. Um, but then there's some smaller ones like Laredo, and I think there's another one. I can't think of what it was, but those are the primary ones. All of them you just mentioned.
What's interesting about Texas too, that a lot of people may not be aware of, is that because there's so much vacant land, but also because there's so much population growth and population movement. You've got interest from folks like yourself who are investing outside, but also you've got this trend of people looking at moving to Texas or looking at moving between cities in Texas. There does seem to be this kind of investor friendly culture environment that I did not experience growing up in northern New Jersey. I didn't know personally flippers growing up in northern New Jersey. I'm sure that they were out there, but this concept that almost anyone can go and flip homes or can go and invest in single or multifamily is nice to see that is a possibility in Texas.
Yeah, yeah, and partners that I'm working with specifically are finding a more creative, um, which I don't know if you know Pace Morby, but a lot of them are
Yeah.
buying through the Morby method. So that's how we're taking down all these properties.
We are coming up on time here, Preston. Where can folks go to learn more about you and what you've got going on? Or if maybe they have a deal they want you to look at, how can folks get in contact with you?
Hey, yeah, I'm always happy to look at deals. On Facebook, it's just my name, Preston Garcia. I believe on Instagram is Preston Garcia, one word, an underscore at the end. Same thing with TikTok and YouTube.
Preston, thank you so much for coming on the show here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.